stepping up to the plate. I mean, opponent. Right. So people have been asking, like, I've been doing a lot of winning on stream with the Dirtle deck, and people have asked what our bad matchups are, and this is almost certainly one of our more difficult matchups. The Shoku the Botanist generally means they're playing the Blood Wild MC deck, and that matchup is fairly difficult for us. It's possible I should mulligan this hand that doesn't have a Transmogrifade out on the draw, but like turn 2 Dingle's like our second best play. I don't know, especially game 1 when we have less removal in our deck, this matchup is difficult. They don't have a strong turn 2 play, which they had Sentry on 1 like they always do. You know, it's the Sentry rule, right? When is there Sentry on 1? Whenever you're playing against it. When do you have Sentry on 1? Never. There's the turn 2 Crusader. Alright, so we've got 7 turns before this kills us or so. Let's play this out. Just hold the Dingle up, you know, pray a little bit. This makes all their socketed cards cost less, which is also problematic for us because it means that they can double spell fairly early, which means they can, you know, sequence through our interaction. Hopefully they just don't play anything here. That would be awesome. And then next turn I can focus plus still hold up Dingle. Determined Bushy. Huh. If we get MC'd, I'm going to feel real bad about this, but I think we're supposed to. It's funny, if this is the one that could be a Dread End's actually pretty good in this matchup. Oh, well, we definitely would have a Dread End now. I cut the one Dread End for a second PA in the main. Immediately punished. Any fun weekend plans? Yeah, we, one of the parks near my house is having, like, blow-up bouncy things this weekend, so we're taking the kids over to that. So we have Deny to stop whatever their play is this turn, and the next turn we can focus and do an answer, hopefully. And the following turn we can stick the Dark Heart, which blocks this, so we're not doing too terrible. Yep, nickel and dime me out of the game. They should probably do that pre-combat, right? That's a lot of extra damage. That's a fantastic draw. So this is an interesting decision. Do I play the Transmog on the Crusader this turn, or do I focus to try and hit my resource for the heart? I think I'm supposed to focus to try and hit my resource for the heart, which we did. And I suppose if he doesn't play anything to deny, it feels like he just Transmog this and then not deny whatever they want to play, because Dark Heart blocks most of it. It's probably a little bit loose. This actually makes our Transmogs better, because it means we can Transmog this into a... We can Transmog this into a 1-drop. So the fact that he made a Dreadling here means I'm not going to fire off this Transmog, because that likely means they drew an MC that they want to sacrifice this Dreadling to. It could just be like they have enough charges that it's whatever, but this could mean an MC. Alright. The opponent does have a play, they're not making it. Let's Transmog this Dorko into a random 1-drop. Strangling his Crusader in response. Deal. Okay, sure. I think I'm okay with that. Yeah, these decks definitely been playing Aspect of the Squirrel, which they have Scrounge Fodder for at this point. Let's see if they have a Gruesome Deed or not. That's generally their main deck removal. Though I have seen some of these decks being greedy and just playing Hero Fall. If we get to ready with this, we're going to be in a pretty good spot. It's looking like we're going to. Hopefully we draw some coins of our own so we can gain some life back. That's pretty good. Alright, well. Remember when I said we were going to be okay if we readied with this? I'm a liar. We are dead to the Swamp Water Recluse. I mean, okay. That technically gives us redraws. It doesn't draw us cards. And like, could you imagine if we just like had a Dread End here? Man, the beats. So we can't block this still, but we can not die from a single attack from this, so we got that going for us. If we draw a Shard next turn, that gives us 2 redraws at Transmogs to deal with this. Transmog's the only answer in our main deck that's going to deal with that at this point. Yeah. We only have 3 of them left, so pretty good chance we're just dead here. Yep. At least we can block that. Papa needs Transmog. Need a Transmog. Could be anything, even a Transmog. Huh. I think I'm supposed to take the Silver Talon Adjudicator here. Because Silver Talon means I can double this. I guess this gives me 2 more looks guaranteed, right? And I guess if I hit a Shard with this... Yeah, I guess I'm supposed to take this. Because this gives me 2 looks at a Transmog, and if I hit a Shard, I get 2 redraws with my champion power. Yeah, I put the second PA in over the Dread End like we talked about yesterday at the end of the stream. Post-board, we're going to have Diamond Savers and Pride's Falls to help deal with some of these things, but we are just looking at a 3-outer right now. Alright, I mean, technically not dead. Technically not dead. We're dead to an aspect of this world, but we're not dead on board anymore. Oh, we're dead. We're dead to that. Alright. We're dead to this thing, actually, too. Like, we can only block the 5/5 and then take 1. Alright. Diamond's Favor in. Pride's Fall in. I think Clash of Steel is actually reasonable in this matchup. Silver Talon Adjudicator is not stellar. We don't need a second Psychic Ascension. We can cut a couple of Lanupaw's sights. I don't think this Totem Trap's particularly good. I think Dread End is fine. I don't even just want 2 of these. I think I like this. So Dark Heart makes them sacrifice non-socketed cards, but that's actually pretty good in this matchup because one of their better non-socketed cards against us is Altar of Nulzann, so this can kill that, which is nice. I think we're just gonna submit like this. Glory's not the things that are gonna kill me. Yeah, but Glory can help clean up. Okay, I'll trim 1 Glory. Glory can help clean up the cards that Dark Heart is having a hard time dealing with. Sounds fine. Not exciting, but fine. The simple man who wants to draw all of the cards will take a second Lanupaw side here, I think. Let's adjust this so you can see my life total. Every single game. Man, if you could have Century of Nulzann in your opening hand every game, I would never play anything other than these socket decks. They are actually just insane when you get to play this card in one every game. No, I think that's wrong. Darkheart blocks their 4/4s and it can kill their altars. That's a ramp rabbit? That is a ramp rabbit. That's scary. Alright, we're probably just gonna get run out of this game. I could hold this, or I could generate some card velocity. Let's just generate some velocity while it's still early. It cleans up things like the Sentry and their other random crappy troops, so that way Darkheart can kill altars of Nulzann. It's kind of like Clash of Steel with Darkheart. Clash cleans the chafe, so Darkheart can get what's left. I mean, like, they're not a dedicated sockets deck, right? Like, they have plenty of non-socketed cards in their deck. Dread End is a decent card to draw. I mean, yeah, at this point I'm just playing the Silver Talon Adjudicator out, right? This is worth like 9 points of life, basically. And I come down now, I'm just gonna chump block this Runeer next turn. You brought in Turbulence. If we get a game 3, I'm gonna board out all of my Silver Talon Adjudicators. That is, yep. 10 out of 10 will board out all my Adjudicators to blank that card. That's not a card that should be in your deck against me. Take 7 here. If we had a non-slow shard, we're going to be in an okay spot. If we don't, we're going to be a little bit under the gun. Okay, this is the point where you're just like, yeah, you know, just like get on, move on with your life, play another match. People talking in Hex general chat about getting someone like LSV to play Hex to get publicity. It's like, well, LSV actually works on one of Hex's biggest competitors, Eternal. I know you wouldn't believe that because, like, you know, why would WotC hire someone to work and do Magic coverage that makes one of Magic's competitors? But, you know, WotC's decision-making track record is not exactly stellar. Yeah, boarded Immortal. Eater here, likely Redlings, could be a Sapphire Wild Dreadlings deck. We'll have to wait and see. Sand is great. Got Transmog to stop the early pressure. Eldurathan's Glory is one of our better cards in this matchup. We got a Silver Talon Adjudicator to help us bridge the gap if they have a particularly aggressive hand. My opponent appears to keep a hand that doesn't make a threshold. Interesting. The illusion of choice here with these Wells of Purpose. That's fine. We're actually looking for a resource with that. This is, again, just a small sequencing thing. You generally want to play your focuses before you play your Thunderfield Seer, because if a hand like this where we kind of want another resource, if you play this Seer and then the next turn you play this Focus and you have the choice between like a resource you need and a prophesized card, you're going to have a tough choice there. The problem is definitely the net deckers, right? 10 out of 10. I believe in net deckers. They ruin the frickin' game. Not attacking with this because I would like to chump block a Underworld Crusader next turn if possible. Thunderfield Seer, also good at trading with this down the line. No box. This doesn't actually gain me life yet, which is a little awkward. Bye, honey. There's the coin, sure. Alright, so they're filling up their crypt with some. Yeah, it's funny. Whenever someone says the word net deck, generally I just start tuning them out. I'm gonna block here because I'm probably gonna just play this Eldurathan's Glory next turn, so I might as well gain a life with that. I'll, like, put this into play. Game 1, the Red Link deck generally doesn't have a good way to take this off the board, sans like Lasgar's Vengeance into Cremate or Lasgar's into Lasgar, so just putting this on the table to start beating down is probably pretty profitable. Alright. Cometh at me, bro. I'm not blocking here because it only saves me 1 point of life, and it would allow my opponent to Lasgar's Vengeance to kill my Glory. Dark Heart of Nulzann. Is that good? If so, why? Please explain. Yeah, Burgle. Also, like, I mean, the Dread End that I swapped out for the PA, like, also isn't stellar against a lot of aggressive decks, right? Like, it's not great against Empress, it's not great against Redlings, like... Now I'm gonna go ahead and block this with my Glory. Because I'm gonna have to sacrifice the Glory to the Dark Heart next turn anyways. Might as well do that. We're getting double Lasguard? If we're getting double Lasguard, our board was gone anyways. Play this. It's like okay against those. I don't think those decks are particularly well positioned, and I don't think those decks are bad matchups for us, so... I'm just gonna play this out as a 3-2 that gains 5 here. Like, it's not doing a whole lot else in our hand. Let's just start attacking with this while still having something back to block, like a Crusader if it comes down. Opponent packs it in. Opponent kept a hand that didn't have thresholds to start, so a little bit loose. Totem Trap's in, Pride's Falls in, Loregoyle's fine, Dark Heart and Glory are excellent, Psychic Ascension is not. Trim a couple of Lanupaw sites here. Children! Children, why are we killing each other in the background? Declan Scott, leave his truck alone. I got 2 more cuts here. How do I usually board? Do I not bring in all the Dark Hearts? I feel like I'm supposed to bring in all the Dark Hearts. Loregoyle isn't worth it? I came to that conclusion, right? You got a 3rd site? That's fair, especially on the draw. Might bring that third sight back in on the play. Or that second sight back in on the play. Loregoyle's like okay at blocking, and it technically attacks their crypt to help nerf their scrounge stuff, but it is slow. We were bringing it in at one point when we had less tools for this matchup. This hand is awesome. Like, just having a bunch of cards that allow you to match the curve out of the Redlings deck is huge. This deals with their Death Seekers. This deals with their 2-drop. This deals with their Crusader. This comes down and cleans up the rest of it. Let's not deal with that one, bro. I'm just gonna play this and pass the turn, hold the Totem Trap up, I think. What's Mana Burgle? I haven't heard of that before. That's something new they added to Hex. You've activated my trap card. This answers this. This is one of those, the control deck answers are going to line up well against what the aggro deck is doing, most likely, so our deck's going to look real good. God, Twitch still hasn't approved my other 2 emotes yet. 3 emotes? Yeah, they definitely understand that. Yeah, and we're bringing in, like, more 5-drops. Like, we have a champion power, too, right? Whoa, that's aggressive. Yeah, Primal Prism's really clunky and kind of awkward. So the problem with Primal Prism is that the fixing it provides is in the mid to late game, and you need your fixing early. Like, yeah, not on turn 3, so you can play your card on turn 4. Look, when we're playing the good game, you need to get the terms right. When we're playing Magic, they can be troops or crypts or whatever. What a tilt Dark Heart. Cycled the coin, drew the Dark Heart so it was cheaper on my opponent's turn. The fixing is just so you have a reasonable number of both threshold types. So right now, with the Prism counting as both of our threshold types, we have 15. We only have 16 Sapphire Shards and Sapphire sources in this deck, and we only have 14 Diamond. And we're playing a deck that's trying to cast double Diamond and double Sapphire cards. Like, it's not even just Clash, it's like Adjudicator's Glory. Like, pull up the Hypergeometric Distribution. Do they have the Ruby's favor? They do not. That's good for us. Pull up the Hypergeometric Distribution and, like, look and see what are your odds of having Sapphire on turn 3 with only 16 sources. Arcane Focus, like, fudges the numbers a little bit because, like, occasionally you see more cards, but in reality, like, you need the sources. Like, ideally, I'd want, like, 17 to 18 to cast Deny consistently by turn 3, but Focus lets us, like, get away with 16, okay? Gruesome Deed here. Yep, that's right. I figured they had the second deed because I used the first Gruesome Deed pretty aggressively, and they've been holding cards, so their hand must just be like a bunch of like Lasgars and removal, right? That's pretty good. Just gonna play this Dark card out. I'm not gonna block this, I don't think. Yeah, that sounds awful. The best option is to have more duels, but like the things you have to do to get more duels are not ideal. Am I blocking here now? I feel like I'm blocking here now. Am I willing to get cremated? I feel like I am. Next turn I could counter a cremate. Like taking an extra 4 here seems real bad. That worked out well for us. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and transmog this. I mean, they should board out cremates, right? Like, but you know, the things to think about. The old Thunderfield Seer on both sides of the table. Crimson Slayer, sure. That's fine. He's gonna make this not block. I think I'm just gonna play this Glory next turn. Unless we draw a Shard. If we draw a Shard, I'm going to play the Adjudicator. Perfect. So, drawing a Shard means we want to play the Adjudicator, because it means we get to draw 2 cards. And I am just the man who wants to draw 2 cards. Can't block, must attack, same thing, right? Okay, good. Oh, look at that. Oh, this one's incorrect. This is a basic sleeve for Hex Shards of Fate. Everyone has this sleeve. That's not true. No, so no joke. I remember reading the Hex TCG Kickstarter page and scrolling down and seeing they had a stretch goal for OS X support and not a stretch goal for Linux support, and I was just like, nope, alright, not going to support my platform, we'll not back this. I mean, obviously, it's like, I knew I was going to enjoy it as much as I do, I probably would have backed it, but, you know. Please, Corey Jones, if you're out there, give me a native Linux client. That's all I want for Christmas. Unity supports Linux. Support the SteamOS, Corey! Alright, 1-1 on the day. Not bad. I would like to point out that exporting it to run on Linux is probably infinitely less work than exporting it to run on mobile. I would just like the record to reflect. I wouldn't be surprised if one of the biggest hurdles in getting Hex to mobile is resource constraints. Like, if I open my task manager right now, like, Hex is using 2.5 gigs of RAM. Like, yeah, like, that's a lot of memory for a mobile application. I know, like, phones are getting more and more, but that's still a lot. So I assume they need to optimize some things in that area is the biggest hurdle to getting it on mobile. I agree that a mobile client would be great. Yeah. Yep, that's exactly it. I mean, Unity exports to Linux, so I don't know. I don't know the details of that. It's obviously already OpenGL, like it runs on OS X. What made me get into Hex in the first place? So, Adrian Sullivan actually used to write articles for the main Hex CCG site on the regular, and I was helping him test for a modern Pro Tour, and being the complete TCG degenerates that we both are, after we spent all day playing Modern and we needed a bit of a change, he's like, hey, you should check out this game I've been playing a little bit and doing some writing for. And he's like, all right. So he showed me the Hex stuff, and pretty soon I was playing a little bit of the campaign, and then I bought a constructed deck, and I was playing a bunch of gauntlets, and then soon I was writing for the main site. Yeah, my phone's like I have a OnePlus X for a phone, so I like to buy my devices outright. And it's kind of it's definitely a more budget device. Does not have a ton of resources. That's funny, I was streaming a ton of Magic Online when I first started. I started in between, like halfway between that big gap between set 3 and set 4. So I came like right in the middle. So I had like 3 months with sets 1, 2, 3. I also really like the size on the OnePlus X. Like a lot of these flagship smartphones that exist today, they're huge. Like this thing just like, people mistake it for an iPhone a lot just because like they don't really make Android phones with this size. And a lot of the Android phones that are reasonably sized also have really terrible specs. Like, this is, like, fine. And I only paid $200 for it, so, like, that's a really good price for a phone outside of contract. I was really sad that my bait and switch stream, that OBS died and ruined my bait and switch stream. We had a bunch of people for Magic Online yesterday morning, and when I pivoted to Hex, OBS decided it was going to vomit when I changed scenes, and I lost all the people. It's sad. We're definitely going to set up some more of those. I'm going to do a 12, possibly 24-hour stream at some point that'll be both Hex and Magic. Xperia Z Compact. I haven't heard of that one. I'm going to Google it now. Look, I like to think of myself... Oh, jeez. Another Shoku deck. We're going to change decks after this, I think. We lost the coin flip again. I'm going to mulligan a hand that doesn't have a transmog in it. This hand is very good. I like to think of it as saving digital souls when I stream Magic Online and then show them Hex. Maybe that's just me, though. I'm going to play this here because my opponent could very well have a turn 2 MC. Also, I'm really confused here because my opponent didn't play a Century of Nulzann on 1, and that hasn't been my experience playing against this deck. We might actually have a chance here because there wasn't a Century on 1. Oh, there we go. Oh, good. Whew. Whew. I was worried for my opponent there for a second. I was genuinely concerned for their health and well-being. They didn't have a Sentry on 1. Turns out they just had a slow shard, and they were going to play the Sentry on 2 the entire time. All right, good. I was going to just probably, file for compensation if they didn't have the Sentry. Transmog this into a copycat. Get out of here. And Dingle is an excellent draw. Jeez, are we going to have a chance here? Are you saying there's a chance? No, I don't think so. The Sentry is a card that basically just doesn't have a text box. Like, when you're playing a control deck against let me rephrase. The only time you want to use your answers to deal with accelerants in games like TCGs is when you are playing in a deck never mind, we're dead. I have Altar of Nulzann. Can never win the game. Is when you're playing a deck that can actually apply pressure to the opponent when our cards are primarily answers and we're looking to win the game eventually. We want to use our answers efficiently to answer their cards that we actually care about, basically just making us a dead draw. So, like, if you're playing something like, say, Empress, transmogging this can be okay. Yeah, exactly, or like Bombus is a good example too. Like decks that are, and actually with Bombus it can kind of depend on your hand, right? Yeah, correct. Answer threats, not tempo plays. Like that's basically the control deck mantra, right? Skyguard Steadfast, sure. This says whenever they play a socketed card for the first time each turn, they get to draw a card. I'm just gonna wait. These Adjudicators are gonna draw cards at some point here. Is that good? If so, why? Please explain. This is another reason. So, someone talked about, and we boarded down a Glory in the last matchup, this card can actually kill our opponent too, which, like, when they have cards like Altar of Nulzann, we need to actually kill them, because otherwise they're just going to run away with the game. I'm going to skip here, because a lot of these decks play, the Death's Head Rider, which is a scrounge too. Each opponent sacrifices a troop, and I'm not going to give them the chance to do that to this Eldurathan's Glory. Aspect of the Squirrel. Huh. Oh, geez, that let them trigger this on my turn? That's so gross. Oh, we could have had a Strangle. That's a good call, too. So lots of reasons to not block there. I think I'm going to Transmog this just because, like, I have a Dingle. I don't want to sit here and take a bunch of damage from this. Although I guess taking the first hit from this is pretty free, right? Because, like, the Adjudicator will gain me life. Adjudicators are probably going to gain me life at some point anyways. We do know that he has a thing in hand. That's true. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep passing here. He would have jammed Runner. Yep. Yeah, good deduction. Maybe these Adjudicators can, like, keep up with the card advantage from this and yeah, 10 out of 10. Just gonna go ahead. Do I care about this? I feel like I probably care about this. If I Dingle this, I also get to play this out and draw cards, so I think that's fine. If they have, like, Crusader here to follow this up, I'm going to be sad, but I think they'd wait a turn to play Crusader anyways. That's a good draw. It blocks. It makes them start sacrificing things. And, like, look at this board. Darkheart is fine in this matchup. Like, my opponent literally has all non-socketed cards in play. There's the Death's Head Rider we knew was coming. I guess maybe I should play around that since we felt like they had it in their hand. They've conscripted the Spring Litter Disciple. I'm going to play this out to block a little bit. Yeah, it's possible I shouldn't have just windmilled the Darkheart. Yeah, this Adjudicator's been prophesied. I was aware of that. So if they offer this trade, I'm just going to take it, unless they also attack with this, in which case I'll eat the Lackey and then take this trade next turn. Okay. This jumps something. I'm gonna do this before I Oracle Song, so that way if we draw the Prophesized card, we can get some value off of it. Deny is a decent draw. Am I playing Adjudicator? If I play an Adjudicator out here, like this can trade here, and then this can trade here. Yeah, I like that. Let's gain 5. they'd run off a bunch of socketed cards in a row, we could be in trouble. They probably want to save this pouch for my next Dark Heart. If we find our Psychic Ascension soon, we could be in an okay spot. That's a good draw, because it lets them reset this lackey. Twice. I'm just going to double here. They're going to be able to reset this indefinitely between this and these, so let's just do this. No, he has a normal amount of non-socketed stuff. This deck needs cards to support Crusader too, and there aren't a lot of Underworld socketed cards, so like, this is just like the cards this deck plays. Both of these are prophesied. I don't think we want to burn them in anything they've played out already, though. Yep, take 4. Now that I have that, am I willing to play this Adjudicator? Yeah, probably. I've got 2 prophesized things, so like, now I can threaten to trade 2 for 1 for this and just leave them with 1 power worth of Dorkos. I'm gonna transmog that one, turn it into a 1-drop. Also lets us draw a card. 10 out of 10 denying the second altar. There's no way we're beating that. Another dark card is good. That's going to be annoying, but it is what it is. Just going to trade 2 for 1 here. Thankfully, we're at a point in our lives where, like, we have enough resources that, like, this not being too cheap for next turn isn't that big of a deal. Treacherous Pass. That's a Lanupaw site. Alright, if there's anything that could claw us back in, making sure we claw through this game, that would be it. Can I draw Psychic Ascension, please? Huh. I'm gonna hold this deny up. If this cost 3, we could have played it out, but I'm gonna hold the deny up in case they have like a Pipit or something really scary that we want to counter. That's fine. They're just gonna get to pouch this dark card anyways, but I'll have a random 6-drop then, so it's probably not the worst. I mean, I have 2 PAs in my main deck, so I'm not sure what your point is. I agree with you that PA is great. We have 2 of them in our main deck, and we're still through half our deck without seeing one. Yeah, shit happens. Just 10 out of 10, gonna go ahead and deny this to keep my dark card around. Did I board out one? I have no idea how I'm boarding in this matchup, but you're right. We do need a Psychic Ascension early, so we probably shouldn't board one out. I think it's honestly just a matchup where, like, we want most of our win conditions. Whoa! Opponent didn't Polyberry pouch me. God bless. They're going to keep losing tiny idiots. Alright, the illusion of choice. That's not what they wanted. They wanted to take that Polyberry pouch and send it at the dark card here, ideally. Am I just supposed to be attacking them? I feel like I'm just supposed to be attacking them, actually, right? Like I'm trading 3 points for 1 point. Yeah, I'm just gonna start. I probably should have been attacking this whole time, actually. If we draw one more resource, we get the coveted second Oracle Song activation. We draw an MC. Alright, also a sack gem on it, right? Yep, so need to deny that. Well, it's going to generate a lot of card advantage for them. My kingdom for a Psychic Ascension. Ding. Oh, you know what? I should put Flight on here, because I'm going to have to sacrifice this anyways. That's a 6/6. Alright, I'm dead in 3. So we can't block this, right? Sure. We do have a Lanupaw site in the bank here. How many Transmogs have we played? 1, 2, 3. I've played 3 Transmogs already. That's not good for us. Probably gonna need the Psychic Ascension to do work. Okay. That gets us a lot of stuff, potentially. Another Lanupaw site. Yep, this draws a card, so let's play Lanupaw site. Alright, let's start with this, see what we get. Outflank. +2/+4. Nope, because of the Treacherous Pass, that's not good enough. There's a Transmogrifade. I think Dingle's better than the one that draws a card here, actually, so... Yep, I'm just gonna go ahead and attack with this, and then I'll Transmogrifade this when it attacks, probably chump block it. I'm gonna Dingle this nerd. Our life total's low enough that I don't want... I don't want to take 2 damage every turn. Oh, the Wind Speaker's technically a gas dancer. That's funny. I'm gonna leave him up because he can exhaust stuff. Oh, is that good? If so, why? Please explain. I'm going to shift this to here. I'm going to play this Dark Art that draws a bunch of cards, so this will get bigger when we draw a bunch of cards. Oh, we have lethal, right? So I can mobilize this to outflank this, so... Alright, sweet. So that means they're dead without it, but I could have just played this Glory to void their thing and keep both my guys. Now these 2 are lethal. Alright, we took a game. We figured it out. The Dreadlings are minus power from the Treacherous Pass. Yeah, we want Pride's Falls, we want Diamond's Favors, I don't want Totem Traps. I don't know what else I'm doing past that. Silver Talon Adjudicator seems like it's real medium minus. Oh, they're plus power from the Magistrate. That's funny. Good call. These feel like they're not stellar. I think I'd rather have card advantage from other sources and just like keep these clashes in. Is this unreasonable? How do we feel about this? Clash plus Dark Heart is very powerful. I think I like this. I could see the Dread Ends being good too, just because they have a lot of big idiots, but like, I don't think I have anything I want to cut. I don't think this is a matchup where I can trim Lanupaw's sight. Look, it's okay to put Clash in your aggressive deck, just like don't have Decree of Banishing in your deck too. And like that's a good example of a game like why I really like this Sapphire Diamond deck. Like this matchup is bad for us. Like no delusions, this matchup is not good. And like we were able to position ourselves in that game in a way where we're actually able to win anyways. Our opponent could just get under us with an MC on 2 here, or a Crusader, but I think this hand's worth keeping. Maybe it's right that we're supposed to mulligan for a Pride's Fall, Diamond's Favor, or Transmog post-board, because we have like 8 of them. Or like Dingle into double deny seems really good. I'm not playing that out yet. I'm just going to go ahead and attack for 1 here. I want to hold the Dingle up because there's no way they don't have a play next turn. That's fine. That is less fine. Yeah, I mean, if you look back at the very first deck that I played, the deck that I top 8'd the first CCS with, the Sapphire Diamond aggressive deck, like mid-range aggressive deck, like we had clashes in our board because that was how you beat the wild decks, with just like boarding into clashes. Getting another resource here is excellent because it means I can play this Seer out while still holding up Deny. Our goal is to just kind of answer their important threats. They're not going to run out of cards because of this altar, but if we can keep answering their important threats until we can get to a Psychic Ascension, we can then take over the game that way like we did last game. That's fine. I have 2 denies in my hand. They might just take my Arcane Focus, which would kind of suck. Depends on the context of their hand. If they want to just like punch through these denies, they might just take 1 and then like play a threat out that I need to deny. If I only had 1 deny here, I would just snap the deny on this, but I think because I have 2, I just let this resolve and then counter whatever their follow-up threat is. "10 months later, Chris P. 1992 with the resubscription. Thank you for the continued support. I do appreciate it. Would love another Arcane Focus that draws an extra card. Just a simple man who wants to draw all of the cards. I am going to take a resource here as opposed to a third Lanupaw site, which might be sacrilege, but that's what we're going to do. I'm going to attack with both of these now, because they're probably going to chump here, and then we'll play the Dark Heart and get to eat something else. Gemborn Prowler. Okay. Couldn't have denied that even if we wanted to. This gives them a window to stick something scary now, which, you know, hopefully our Thunderfield Seer will be able to chump for a little while. Is this Anthem plus speed? Sure. Hopefully they don't have another. They only play this, we're going to be in an okay spot still, because we have, like, these to chump for a little while, and Lanupaw just like to generate a, That's the scariest thing they could have there. So, punished for playing the Dark Heart in just, like, the biggest way possible. They had the removal spell, and then they had 2 scary threats that they could play. Huh, you know what? Honestly, I'm just gonna play this other one out, too. They have enough threats at this point to, like... Let's just draw a bunch of cards and find our Clash of Steel. That could be wrong. I don't know. Especially with 2 denies in our hand again. That's good. That wasn't too scary. Oh, it has speed, which is annoying. Block 6, take 7, go to 10. God, what a beating. God bless America. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of the I sing. Boom, 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 boom. Down, 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 down. What a tilty card. What a tilty card. Yeah, that's fine. We need to hit this clash anyways. We're only countering things with speed at this point. Gonna like get double coined here and die. Alright, it's fine. We're gonna draw. Yeah, don't care about that. Again, just like need to hit this Clash of Steel. It is the Wakuna coin the people foretold of. Can I get a blocker? Can I get a blocker? I got a Dingle. Alright. Can I get a blocker? Okie dokie. And, like, the odds of them not having removal are really low here, right? How sick would it be if they keep this? That would just be so sick. We have far from gotten there. On a scale of 1 to dead, we are still, like the advantage bar is, like, still on our opponent's side of the table. Holy crap, they kept the Altar of Nulzann. We could still die here. There is still a world where we die here. We're about to get Gallows gassed. Watch this. Watch this. Gallows gassed. Oh, baby, a triple. God, we were so close. We were so close. So close. Alright. Sign me up. Back in. Back in. Am I supposed to just pass there and not play the Dark Heart? Maybe we're supposed to pass there and not play the Dark Heart. Because we, like, actually got ourselves into an okay position there. I don't think the Dwarfling's deck is doing anything particularly interesting or powerful compared to, like, the Redling's deck, so... It's, like, it's kind of neat, I guess, but I don't think it's doing anything interesting. I mean, like, it's also, like, so the question we want to ask ourselves there is, like, what does the board state have to look like that we get back into the game? Like, can we get back into that game if we hold up a thing there and don't take that opportunity to kill the altar? And the answer might still be no. So, like, it could objectively be correct to just, like, play the Dark Heart, hope they don't have their one Gallows gassed, and then, like, we ready and win the game. Like, that's not completely unreasonable. I had an answer to gas, but, like, then they're gonna sit there and draw more cards, and I don't have a way to take the altar off the table if I'm, like, Dingle and denying things. So it's like, can I afford to play around this thing is basically the question I would want to ask myself. I don't think the answer to that question was yes. I would like to take a moment and appreciate how excellent this hand is. Just, like, all of the answers that we want. So I think we're a pretty strong favorite to win the game there if we don't... Like, we could just get double coined out of the game, too. This is the one with speed. Nope, they forgot to activate this. I guess I'll just dingle this. I kind of wish they would have activated this and sacrificed something to it so I could have Pride's Falled it. Yep. Yep. And again, like this hand, this card, like our hand is no longer good. Like our hand is actually just terrible because our hand is literally 5 1-for-1s, and Transmog isn't even really a 1-for-1. That like this is going to turn all of their cards into 2-for-1s. They don't play more altars on the board. I feel like with the Sapphire Diamond deck becoming popular, they should almost... He generated a socketed card with that. Alright. I'm just gonna... I'm gonna be all done with the Dirtle deck.